Imagine this. The stock market is sitting just inches away from record highs. The S&P 500 hovering just under the 6,900 mark. And yet the bond market is flashing warning signs that traders haven't seen in months. This week, a single announcement from the Federal Reserve could either fuel a massive year-end rally or stop this momentum cold. So what exactly is going on? And why is Wall Street treating Wednesday like Judgment Day? Let's break down everything you need to watch in the days ahead. Stocks closed Friday near all-time highs, but underneath the excitement, nerves are growing. This week brings the final Fed meeting of 2025, along with Jerome Powell's last press conference of the year, and maybe even his last before a major shakeup inside the Federal Reserve. At the same time, massive corporate earnings are on deck from Oracle, Adobe, Broadcom, and Costco. And the economic calendar is packed with delayed labor data and new inflation numbers hitting all at once. This is one of the most important market weeks of the year. The Fed gathers on Tuesday, but the moment the world is waiting for is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, when the rate decision is released. It's followed by Powell's press conference at 2:30. Recent labor data revealed surprise job losses and elevated layoffs. And Friday's PCE inflation report showed cooling prices again. Because of that combination, markets are almost certain we'll see a 25 basis point rate cut, bringing the target range down to 3.50% to 3.75%. The decision itself may not shock anyone, but Powell's words, tone, and Q&A absolutely could. We're also getting the final dot plot of the year, the Fed's official roadmap for where interest rates may go in 2026. And this meeting marks the final time the current group of voting members sets policy. Because for regional Fed presidents rotate out next year, and for new ones rotate in. Behind the scenes, speculation over Powell's replacement is heating up. President Trump says he'll announce a nominee early next year, and Kevin Hassett is widely seen as the frontrunner. That uncertainty alone has already made bond investors uneasy. Meanwhile, the stock market is trying to price in a perfect outcome: a rate cut, a strong economy, and slowing inflation all at once. But Bank of America strategist Michael Hartnett warns that if Powell sounds too dovish on Wednesday, investors might panic. A soft-sounding Fed could send bond yields spiking, and rising yields are the fastest way to knock stocks off their highs. What looks like the beginning of a Santa Claus rally could easily turn into a Santa Claus scare. The bond market is already showing signs of stress. The 10-year yield climbed more than 10 basis points last week during one of its roughest stretches in months. Even though inflation cooled, it still sits above the Fed's target. And that's raising doubts about whether the central bank can continue cutting rates into 2026. Even Kevin Hassett becomes the next Fed chair. Markets are openly questioning whether anyone can deliver rapid cuts next year. All of this makes Wednesday's press conference even more crucial. Bitcoin also enters the spotlight this week, but for a surprising reason. Normally, Bitcoin moves in sync with stocks. It rallies when investors chase risk and falls when they get cautious. But this year, Bitcoin has diverged from the market for the first time since 2014. The S&P 500 is up more than 16%, while Bitcoin is solidly in the red. Despite the slide, Bitcoin has held between $75,000 and $120,000 this year. Acting more like digital gold, though real gold has massively outperformed with nearly a 60% surge. With volatility picking up again on Friday, Bitcoin stays on the watch list. It's also an extremely busy week for economic data and earnings. On Monday, we get the New York Fed's inflation expectations report. Tuesday brings delayed JOLTS job openings data for September and October, plus earnings from AutoZone, GameStop, Campbell Soup, Braze, and Dave & Buster's. On Wednesday, everything revolves around the Fed decision and Powell's press conference, along with mortgage applications, the third quarter employment cost index, and earnings from Oracle, Adobe, Chewy, and Vail Resorts. Thursday brings jobless claims, wholesale inventory updates, and earnings from Broadcom, Costco, Lululemon, and RH. Between a nervous bond market, a potential Santa Claus rally, delayed labor market signals, and Powell's final appearance of the year, this week could shape the market's entire outlook for 2026. So if you want updates the moment the Fed speaks, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because when the Fed moves, the whole world reacts.